Hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildemount. Before we go any further, we have an official announcement we'd like to make. Dave?
Hi, this is a bit of a PSA. We had someone comment on a previous video about how they kind of like to be in a different state of mind when they watch our videos. We just like to say from the D20 multiverse, we don't condone or tell people to go do it. If it is legal where you're located, fair enough. Make sure you're very safe and you do it in a very safe manner. And yeah, we're just making sure that you guys out there aren't really going too nuts with that. You're editing in this video, right?
Yeah, I'll edit this one.
Cool.
Hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildemount with my Wild David Justice's hat for the 4 millionth time since we started filming. Myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and
Dave,
the Hat Adjuster, aka the Player.
No.
Thank you for coming, bring it back. Thank you for coming along. We're reviewing episode 3 of what people are calling Critical Role 2, the second campaign.
no, campaign 2.
Campaign 2. We went through this whole thing of trying to figure out what to call, or how to label it.
We're going with campaign 2 right now.
People seem to be using campaign 2, so that's what we're going to
and that makes sense. So yeah, this is episode 3, and really we dive right into it with a battle.
Roll initiative. Oh, are we going to do the featured comment first?
We'll do that
At the end. So yes, we
like we did the last week.
So we roll straight into initiative.
We literally talked about this 5 minutes before we started recording.
That's alright, I'm editing this so I can just cut all that out and make me look like a genius. It's more
You're going to need a lot of editing.
Okay, alright. So, yeah, we start off with, straight off with combat. If we left off last time with zombie guards coming back, writhing, and essentially they go to attack the party. That's where we start, that's where we begin. Yeah.
And we normally don't go through too much of the battles, we kind of just go over the highlights, because...
it's not too interesting watching us do like a whole thing of...
Play-by-play is kind of a bit kind of...
We do, however, do this speech between, before every
time we do
combat.
I don't know, this could be your first time you're watching it.
Possible.
So basically they kind of, it's really just a mob kind of wipe. Molly takes out one of them, Molly Mock.
Bo gets a nat 20, and I came up with a catchphrase for her to use, alright? And you guys out there in the credit community, you can start hashtagging this and using it, just make sure you credit the creator.
Here we go.
Send my Bo regards to the devil! Boom!
So Molly goes unconscious.
I spent 2 weeks, ever since the new I
kind of...
Fine, you do it. You do one.
I kind of want to kill you.
If I go missing, anyone out there, please contact the police.
We live in the same house. If anyone's going to be suspected, it's going to be me regardless of what's recorded on camera.
And then they're going to find that little room that you have under the stairs with all the pictures of me and like collections of my hair that you come and get at night, and then my toothbrush which went missing 3 days ago, and I'm still pretty sure he has it. Help.
This is going off track.
This is, yeah.
We've got one job to do.
Okay, so critical role.
Yeah, so the battle happens. Molly falls down, which is the first player to go unconscious during a battle.
Yep, new story arc. We're trying to like label all the firsts. So that's the first unconscious player.
And Not gets the hell you want to do this with a pew and then run in the tent.
Okay, Caleb, he's got an interesting battle tactic.
Not.
I thought it was Caleb. Not gets the kill with a nat 20, okay? No, you're right. Yeah, so nat 20...
Stop. Say it again.
You were right.
Thank you. Just want to make sure that's...
So not gets the kill with a nat 20.
Yes.
Then we've got Jester, I think, using her cantrip for the first time.
Yes.
Spare the Dying.
Spare the Dying. So do you know what Spare the Dying is? Because I don't.
Well, what an interesting question, Dave. And I will answer that without having to look it up or anything. I will just use my knowledge and look over here for a sec. So, you touch a creature that has...
This is a brilliant content.
You touch a creature with 0 hit points, it becomes stable. That's what Spare the Dying does. She's got it as a cantrip. So, very, very useful.
So yeah, that pretty much is how the battle goes. It's a simple kind of like battle. It's kind of in between. But yeah, they continue on. After
Beauregard does give her healer's kit to Jester. Now Jester is the cleric of the party, however did not start with a healing kit. So Beauregard did for some reason, and as a monk, and decided to give that to Jester. Jester was very, very happy. Jester is Laura's character. Laura was very, very happy to get this kit. So yeah.
So if you remember from last episode, the toads kind of just run off. So what they decide to do is follow the toad, but in the meantime they decide to move the bodies away so no one suspects, they did it because they're already kind of, suspects.
They're all technically still under arrest.
Yes, because they snuck out.
Yeah.
So they steal the horses.
Yep, classic D&D trope. How do we get out of here? Steal some horses.
And that's where we come to the team name for this week.
I've been waiting for this for a whole week. I am beside myself with excitement to see what Dave's come up with.
You forgot the thing existed until I just literally said it.
I'm just making it.
I know. They're called the Shelbys.
Oh, right, because Ford asks if the horse is a Mustang, and then calls it Shelby.
Yeah, so the Shelbys.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, thank you. So the Shelbys decide to continue on tracking down the toad as much as they can.
Yeah.
And then they kind of spot an off island, and the tracks kind of lead that it kind of gives a big hint that the toad's on the island.
Now, at this point, some of the players are rolling investigation checks for footprints and such. Point of order. As a dungeon master, you have the decision, do you let players repeat a roll when another player has failed? For example, I rolled perception, I rolled low. I will as well. Now, Matt actually later in this episode, he puts his foot down and makes some rules saying you can't do that, otherwise exactly what you said will happen. If I fail, then Ollie will try. If Ollie fails, then someone else will try. And it's just unfair getting 6 attempts at what is a single roll. Now, in the Dungeon Master's guides and the core books and stuff, it does actually say that you can aid another player to give them advantage, but you should not really be rolling the same thing. If a check has failed, the players don't even most of the time know that the check has failed. That's a meta-knowledge thing that the player has.
And people slip on that because you let it fly
sometimes,
too much.
Yeah.
Probably too much for our own good.
Yeah.
But we don't mind because we can give out it.
So that's just kind of a thing to be aware of if you're a Dungeon Master, whether you will allow multiple rolls for the same check, or if once it's failed, that's it until the next in the scenario. But anyway, they make their way to the river, yes? Yeah,
they make it to the river. They spot like a far-off kind of island. It's a big thing. So they assume they have to get to the island, but it is still dark, and they're still technically supposed to be in the inn by the morning. Yeah. So they kind of leave it there, they get rid of the horses, and then go back to the inn. Yes.
Again, Fjord, people use, I think it was Fjord, Mask of Many Faces. Which is quite a cool device that essentially turns your face into whatever you want.
Because he goes into an old man.
Yeah, he does. It looks like at this point in the campaign he's going to be using this a fair bit, and that's probably because it's a very useful item with a lot of applications for sneaking or deceptions.
I have to admit, Ford was probably the MVP of the episode.
I would 100%.
He did a lot of stuff. He set up the trap to get the guard away later in the episode, and he did some good moves. I think his light was shone upon him.
Okay, MVP of this episode, I will agree with you 100%, is Ford, aka Travis's character.
We used to do that.
I want to bring it back.
Are you going to bring it back?
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Let's bring it
back. All right. We also see some new spells for the first time. Hunter's Bane gets cast as well. But essentially, stealth mission back into the camp. Let's not get caught sneaking back into where we were supposed to be.
Get back in the inn.
Yeah.
So they kind of rest there. The morning comes along. Not and Caleb go shopping for some books, for the books from the previous episode.
Yep. Caleb still wants a couple of books. He asks Not if Not will sell the platinum flask that he had found, but Not is quite attached to this item. Now at this point, Not kind of says, Caleb's trying to say, we could buy a lot of alcohol if you sold that. And Not goes, how much do you need? And he goes, 13 gold. And she goes, here you go.
And apparently Not has a lot of gold.
Yeah, Not actually went to Matt and said, no, Caleb, after Not said, here you go, Caleb goes, like Liam goes to Matt, does he really give me 13 gold? And Matt goes, so it looks like Not actually, has a bit of secret wealth that the party was not aware of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And they've known each other for a while, so you'll think that would come up in conversation.
Yeah.
I think Not plays a very kind of innocent kind of, like, I didn't know, I should have told you that kind of like character.
It's one of the advantages of playing a younger character.
Is Not a younger character?
I don't think they've actually been stated.
Because Not's a goblin, so the small.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a small girl. I think he's a woman.
Okay. For me, I've always been perceiving it as being a young girl.
I think he acts like one, but I think he actually is.
Hasn't been stated yet, I don't think. Correct us if we're wrong, but I guess we'll find out.
Could be a very sheltered person.
Oh, and we get the first piece of paper for the game handed out to Caleb as Caleb reads the books.
Yeah, and he finds out more information about the Devil Toad. But we also, during this process of being at the end, we find out that Fjord was a sailor.
Yeah.
And a lot of semen jokes.
Oh, a ton of semen. And masturbation jokes later in the episode as well. But yeah,
masturbation's not a joke, people.
it's a very serious.
That's a very serious
addiction.
thing for single people.
Anyway, yeah, we find out that Ford's background is a background as a sailor, and because of some of the stuff he's taken as background character, he's allowed. I think this is a feat, possibly a background feat. He's allowed to get free passage on ships, essentially, which the party's like, holy crap, that's super useful. And he's
the Shelbys managed to get the boat. And that's their tactic of getting to the island.
Yeah.
During that time, also, we get Frumpkin. Caleb's cat gets turned into a bird.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a scalp.
So it looks like using charcoal, incense, and what was the third thing? There's 10 gold worth of...
Was it charcoal? Incense?
It's charcoal and incense. There's some other...
I thought it was only 2 things.
No, it was 3 things. I can't remember what the third was.
Leave us in the comments below
what
it is, because we can't remember right now.
But essentially, it's not easy to change the form of this cat. It does require a lot of components, but he does for an hour. It turns out, no, until next time he gathers the materials.
Does it? Yeah.
Turns into a sparrow.
So, and it seems like Frumpkin's been turned into different animals before.
Yeah.
Whether Frumpkin was originally a cat to even begin with,
We don't know.
We don't know, because he does mention, I know this is not your favourite form, indicating that Frumpkin can choose what is his favourite form, so it could be the fact that Frumpkin could not actually have been originally a cat. So
just like the cat form. We don't know.
Could be even a person.
More questions. So essentially...
So they head off to the Crooked Stone, which is the island.
Oh, first Mott tries to experiment with his chemistry kit and burns a hole in the floor by accidentally created in white caustic acid.
And then we go to Crooked Stone.
So, now, when they say, what is this island? I actually noticed that Matt looked downwards and into a section of notes that he had and said, oh, that's the Crooked Isles, a witch lived there. So, because, at that moment I was like, oh, okay, this is a pre-planned thing by Matt. He's not just making this up on the fly. He looked at his notes. So, that's where they go.
Yeah, they kind of. I think he expected them to go here.
Yeah.
So basically, they head on to the Toad's trail. They go to the island and they track down the Toad.
Yeah.
And that's where another battle ensues.
So essentially, they make their way with some. This episode, by the way, Taliesin cannot roll.
No.
He's actually at the end of the episode getting quite frustrated with it. He's rolling, trying to hit in the combats or any kind of ability checks. He just
and
can't.
his golden snitch was punishing him. Matt was punishing him.
Yeah. So it looks like towards the end, Laura just said, "Look, you can't use those dice anymore. You know how to super shares." And Taliesin kind of agreed and went, "Yeah, I'm not using these." But they find the shack. The shack has red eyes. The red eyes. There's a growl. Boom. Initiative for the second time in this episode. So it starts and ends with combat. This is the last thing that happens.
But one thing I've noticed, so the battle happens, but one thing that's not actually stated, because they're just assuming that the Toad is an evil fiend.
Yeah.
Based off the information that Caleb got from a random book.
Yeah.
So the Toad could be still protecting Toya the entire time.
Yeah.
But because no conversation ever took place, and based on Toya's actions, it still makes me wonder whether the Toad wasn't actually bad.
Kylre, So essentially, Kylre, like when Kylre, the Devil Toad, sees the party, he says to Matt, he says to Toya, he says, they're here to kidnap you, they're here to take you. And then he attacks. So really it just looked like the Toad was protecting Toya.
Yeah, if you see a random band of 6 people coming after a person you're trying to protect, you're not exactly going to go, oh, hi!
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, I expected the party to use their 6 seconds of free speech per action to kind of ask. Or
they didn't care.
They didn't.
They were dead set that the Toad caused all this based off that knowledge they have in the book.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that's true.
No. We also get the name, potentially, of this monster, which is Nurgloid. Nurgled. It's my turn to stuff up a name.
It's infernal.
It's infernal. But a lot of people in the chat could not figure it out, so I think this is not Volan's Guide or Monsters Manuals. Seems like Exandria
world.
Take a look at the Telbortory campaign setting. But now we get a lot of death saves in this combat. Now the combat rages on.
We also get 3 imps that do appear, which I hate imps. He killed us with an imp once.
I did. Killed one person with an imp. Essentially, an imp has a low challenge rating of like a quarter.
It's not.
A lot of people
it's not a low challenge.
But it's pretty. It doesn't have a high AC or hit points, but it's poison damage. I mean, when that nat 20s, or even if they just fail the 11 Constitution check, that's a lot of damage for a level 2 character, level 3 character.
And they felt it because 2 characters went unconscious during this.
3 including Toya.
Yeah, I think because Toya got choked out by Bo.
Yeah, who was trying to stop her from singing because the singing was causing them to do wisdom saves.
Yeah, which caused them disadvantage on their next attack roll.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So I don't count Toya, but 2 of them did go down. We had Caleb falling, and not. There was a funny kind of revival thing. Not did.
Yeah.
And also Fjord falls right after he kills the Devil Toad.
Yeah, so Travis actually gets the how do you want to do this on the main bad guy of this little bit.
I don't call him a bad guy. I'm
no, exactly.
Hashtag. You're gonna have to do this. Hashtag. What was the guy's name? Cordy. Not a bad guy. It's a really good hashtag.
Have you used
Cordy
Twitter
before? Cordy not a bad guy.
That's the worst hashtag I've ever seen.
It's the best hashtag in the world.
What about Corey is innocent? Hashtag Corey is innocent.
No.
Well, I'm editing it, so I'm putting up my one.
Can you put up my one?
I'll put up your one in tiny text.
Let's see if anyone out there uses whatever hashtag. Whoever's hashtag gets more.
Okay, right. So Corey is innocent is my hashtag.
And Corey's not a bad guy.
Okay, we'll see. We'll let the Twitter community decide.
Yeah. There we go. Or no one probably do it. I probably do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll just use it on my personal account. Anyway, so they managed to wipe out all the imps and stuff. Caleb was rolling quite well on his death saves. He got a couple of successes and he was alright. No one rolled a 1, which is 2 failures if you do roll a 1.
I think this battle kind of was... Because it was the first boss battle, as we find out at the end. But it was a good reality check for the players. Yeah. That they are level 2.
Remember, level 2 characters can drop like flies. It only takes 1 attack to take one of these guys from max hit points into the negatives and insta-kill.
Yeah.
Especially with imps, who look a lot lighter than they actually are.
If you put it in Warcraft perspective, they're kind of like a peasant right now.
Yeah.
And like they're facing 1 footman and there's 6 peasants. And bad metaphor.
I don't play that game. That meant nothing to me.
Anyway, just the loot stuff.
And then Not rolls a nat 20 on a medicine check to help Caleb, gives him mouth-to-mouth, and he's alright.
Think about it, goblin. Mouth-to-mouth with a human.
Anyway, that is the end of the episode. Thing to note, Matt, after the episode, does say that by the end of the next one, they should hit level 3. He kind of let that slip. Now,
they said at the end of the arc.
The end of the arc,
which he said he hoped it would progress in that direction.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean it will.
No, absolutely not.
But it's possible.
It is potential. For those of you who know 5th Ed Dungeons and Dragons, you know that at level 3, you get to make some cool choices and get some damn cool stuff. For example, Not the Rogue will be choosing maybe Arcane Trickster and be able to take some spells, Assassin to up the sneak damage, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be decision time for the players when they do hit level 3 in the next couple, maybe, of episodes.
And after the dust settles, there's a few things we need to know which are going to be affected in the next episode. All these guys are still snuck out because they are, except for Caleb. Caleb wasn't actually under investigation.
Yeah.
So basically Caleb has to claim he killed him.
Yeah.
And they kind of save the girl. Molly insists to take the girl.
Yeah. Bo wants to, but Molly takes it.
And Not steals a ring from Justo at the end.
Yeah, with a 23 on the sleight of hand.
Slips out.
Yeah.
I really like the Not and Jester dynamic.
I love the Caleb and Not dynamic. The kind of overprotective thing that Caleb has. I love the innocence of the character that Sam's playing with, still wanting to steal stuff, but from like a nice kind
That's probably why I like the Jester and Not, because they're both 2 innocent characters, and they're playing off each other for a
I also noticed that Jester and Ford were actually, Jester more, was kind of flirting with Ford a little bit. But that's Travis and Laura. They're married in real life. So
they probably accidentally flirt. It just flies by them. They do. Stuff.
But I'm really loving the new characters. We get. I think in this episode we get to see a bit more of the deeper side of Ford and his kind of thinking and what he's
MVP.
about. Yeah, MVP of the episode from us. We get to see Jester's kind of light-hearted, caring kind of persona.
A little bit more,
and we get to see Bo's kind of no mercy badassery.
I think we're not really going to get our teeth into these characters until they start revealing more of their backstory, like we got with Ford today. Today. When it was when we found out he was a sailor, and we're getting a little bits of information. So that's going to come with time, but we're slowly getting a few favourites and a few of them. It'll be interesting when Ashley's character comes back, how that's going to affect things.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that. And of course we know Matt is a masterful DM. He's going to put in some more role-play moments to develop these characters as well in the next couple of episodes. In fact, I'd probably predict that in the next episode, because there was a lot of combat in this one, there'll probably be some nice role-play moments there. tomorrow, next week.
Yeah, and obviously let us know what you think down in the comments below, because every week we do put a featured comment. Well, we say every week. This is like the second week we've ever done it.
Just roll with it. They don't know.
Yeah, they do. They've got video evidence of it all.
Oh, yeah.
Job.
Anyway, so featured comment
is from Mike Capers.
No, Alex the Great.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex the Great. This is
who was responding to Mike Capers.
To Mike Capers, yeah.
So, honourable mention for Mike
Alex the Great. You gotta have to read it because you're close to
okay, Matt actually clarified. They were talking about. They were talking about Laura Jester's deity and the holy symbol that she keeps on her belt, the god, the traveller. But interesting comment from Alex the Great. Matt actually clarified it's not the same god from Eberron, but just shares the same name.
No, Eberron is an official campaign guide of D&D.
So it's a campaign setting. So it's a world, essentially.
It's like if you just follow Critical Role, it's like the Taldori guide,
yeah.
but just...
Or Sword Coast Adventurers guide.
Yeah.
If you're...
Follow that.
Yeah. So, so the data we don't know much about, except being a trickster. So it's some people in the chat were saying, oh, it's the god of chaos and what was the other thing? Chaos and charity, or chaos and something. But that's not correct. According to Alex the Great, Matt actually said different god, same name.
Yeah. So basically, it's the name, taking the name, but there's going to be a spin on this god. So that will be very interesting going forward of what kind of spin they're putting on it that makes it different than the normal Traveller that people know. I didn't personally know anything about the Traveller, I just looked it up. But going into it actually helps not knowing anything about the Traveller god.
Dave just imparting wisdom there. That was quite zen. It almost takes knowing to not know about the Traveller. Deep, man, deep. Thanks, Alex the Great, for your comment.
I'm trying to keep a straight face because I laugh too much on these things.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex the Great, for the comment. And if you comment down below on this video, we might use your comment in the next video.
Yeah, and make sure you like, subscribe, all that other stuff. Listen to our podcast.
Yeah. Now, our live stream game this week for Black Winter Nights is cancelled because people are away and yada yada yada. So instead, we're going to do a live stream of the podcast that night. So if you want to see us, it gets weird. I won't lie. On the podcast.
Because I host it.
Pretty much.
You think this is weird? He hosts this one. Can you imagine when I host it?
There was some discussion in the last one about sex with Waluigi, so tune into that if you want, or it'll be on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that podcast's out if you want to watch it.
So or check out the one about Waluigi, which is on SoundCloud.
We're just rambling now.
Yeah, so thanks very much. Like and subscribe, because it makes us happy and validates our poor life choices. And from myself,
living with him as well. Sorry.
It was your idea to live together, my friend.
I know.
Regret. It's a wonderful thing. Thanks, guys, for watching. Check out, things.
Shut up.
Get out of my room.
Get out of my life.
We could just record hours of us doing that.
Not just fucking around with the camera.
Yeah.
That's not entertaining at all. We have to talk.
Andy Warhol did 12 hours of guys sleeping.
That's Andy Warhol. I think it's like us and
Look,
Andy Warhol.
I want to branch into more artistic videos.
No.
I'm going to do it.
We have to talk about like what we're going to do for the 500 subscribers. I've got an idea for it.
Oh, cool. I was just going to do a strip. Sure.
Well, we have to get something people want to see.